I've lived in a lot of apartments over the past 13 years of living on my own, and I've never shown the process. One, because of privacy, and two, because I'm a last minute person and it's always a rushed process. Honestly, this time was no different, and the clips reflect that. As I get older and have become a parent, I'm saying no to things I just can't deal with. I really need to be in a good space physically for my mental, so this is going to be a long series, y'all. I've viewed 20 plus places, and I think it's important to note that I am a picky person, but for a good reason. I do have some wisdom to share with you guys if you are relocating to Houston or if you already live here and want to see what else is out there. Okay, so with all that being said, what exactly am I looking for? Things that have an asterisk next to them are my must-haves. Things that don't are just a preference. So, I'm going to need plenty of storage. The studios in the building need to start at least $1,800. My budget is $26. Washer and dryer, gas range, large bright windows that face east or west, a refrigerator with an ice maker, really hot water in the unit. The monthly amenity fee has to be under $100. Thick walls and floors, no weed smell in the hallways, a secure garage, and a walkable neighborhood. The rest of the things on the list are just my preferences. They're not a complete deal breaker, but depending on the price, it should have it or make sense if it doesn't. With that being said, the first place up is the fourth at navigation. So this is at the beginning of my search, before I had any type of list or expectations. At this point, I would see pretty pictures and videos on Instagram, and I would immediately hit up my apartment locator. I had to ask them for the location so that I can go and see it. This is how I started learning what I wanted and didn't want out of my new place. We're starting out in the model unit. It's on the first floor and it was beautiful. I was kind of blown away, and that's not normal for me. The interior decorating was really cute. So this place has really high ceilings. It's pretty spacious and airy and great for filming because of all the light it brought in. It had a really nice porch and it wasn't that expensive. The very first floor units usually have all wood in apartments, but this one had carpet in the bedroom. He explained to me that all the units had carpet in the bedrooms and the closet. That's fine. I just have to vacuum and I have to carpet clean every 4 to 5 months because carpets carry so much dirt and dust. The kitchen is gorgeous, had a dark moody feel, and I love the backsplash. You guys know I had to get into the free drinks. There was lots of cabinetry in the kitchen. I ended up agreeing to see a studio because he kept saying, these studios aren't what you think. And y'all, he was right. The way that they have it laid out and the design, it was really spacious. The high ceilings, everything is conducive with all the other units. Now, I'm not going to lie, I wasn't crazy about the view, but he had other studios that were facing the outside, but of course, those were taken. But the kitchen, I love the layout of that because it's just against the wall and out of the way. You don't really need a big island. It had enough counter space for me personally, and they had lots of storage even in the studio. The bathroom was large. You could walk around in there. You could even put a bookcase in there. Now the room obviously is going to be dark because studios don't have a window, but they made really good use of the closet space. Guys, I have to say I was really impressed with this building. So the next clips that I'm going to show are kind of going to be all over the place. He showed me more one bedrooms. Now a lot of these one bedrooms had very slight differences. Some of them had balconies, some of them didn't. Some of them were facing different parts, and I just wasn't completely sold. I was just like, ooh, I like this, but I want it to be over there. So let's get into some of the things that I didn't like. First of all, I could smell a strong food smell in the hallway, which makes perfect sense. There are so many cultures that live in this building, you're going to smell something. But it wasn't that faint in the apartment, and from past experiences, I'm like, okay, if I can smell the cooking, I can definitely smell if they start smoking or anything. And it just started giving me flashbacks of my LA apartment. Then I started thinking I'll probably be able to hear my neighbors pretty easily because of this, and I'm just not into that, but I could be wrong and I hope I am. Second of all, there was carpet in the bedroom. I know I said that's okay, but it's just another thing on top of it. I'm gonna have to shampoo every 5 to 7 months because of dust and dirt. That's if we don't spill something permanent. And I'll be rubbing my eyes a whole lot, so I just know myself. Third is that none of the units had a tub. I have a little baby tub for Phoebe, so we'll continue using that. 4, this is something I used to go for, cheap but cute, but this is not a decade ago, and that just doesn't fly anymore. I believe the studios are $1,450 to $1,800 at the time, and the one bedrooms were $1,600 to $2,100. There were lots of specials on top of that, and that's a great deal, I feel. Lastly, I noticed a lot of influencers that are living there while we were walking through the hallways and the amenities, which can be a good thing. But there was so much filming going on, I had to put my hand up a couple times because I didn't want anyone to see me that I didn't know. So if this is a place you think you would move, I would definitely recommend. Single chinyere would be here. Mommy chinyere needs peace. So we went on to the amenities. Y'all, this was the nicest gym I can honestly say that I've ever seen in an apartment. So when I went at this time, it was cold, so a lot of people weren't there. But the second time I went, there were a lot of people with their phones, influencing, doing videos and things. And I don't blame them. This place is beautiful. And honestly, it made me want to get into the gym. So that's something that I need. And I even have a membership, and I would definitely be going here. There was also a Pilates and bar room. I don't know if you guys are familiar with bar, but it's basically like ballet. And they didn't have the reformer machines, I don't believe. But they had a Pilates machine in there. There was a pool table. They also had an office. So they had things that I would genuinely use. And that's rare for me because I just completely stopped caring about amenities because the apartments just didn't have it. Next up is the Hanover Parkview. This is one of my favorite units. I liked it so much, spoiler alert, I ended up applying here, but I didn't know you had to sign a lease within the first 48 hours of being approved. I was extremely busy. I'm used to signing a lease at move-in, and I didn't like that, but I am so thankful I didn't end up moving here. Not because it was bad, but because I'll let you guys see it for yourself. What you're getting for the price, it just doesn't reflect. So right here is the Sky Lounge, which is cool. It was one of the amenities. So I really love the downstairs lobby. I usually hate these things, and I feel like they're a huge waste of apartment money. It could go somewhere else, like making better quality apartments, but this one was beautiful. It had a great workspace, a great restroom. Like, the restroom reminded me of when those wives are trying to escape their humdrum lives. But anyway, I could definitely see myself being over here and just hanging out. The gym was gorgeous. It had a pretty similar feel to the navigation apartment that I just looked at, only this one had lighter floors and it had a lot of different machines to use. A lot of these apartments are just stepping it up, and I'm really proud of them. Also, they had a brick road outside. I didn't show the outside. We started off viewing a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. After specials, this one came in at around $24.50, and that's without the amenity fee. Whew. As soon as I entered this apartment, it felt like home because of the recessed lighting. It has a lot of different warm and light tones in there that you can switch on and off. So off to the right is the kitchen. It had a large refrigerator with a water and ice maker. Then it had the electric stove, which I was not that crazy about. I did love the large sink and the faucet that came with it. They had soft closed drawers all around the apartment. To the left was a built-in. You can have a little study area, or you can make a little nook with vases and things. And then off to that was the bathroom. The bathroom was large and spacious. The room was off of it. They had a large closet to my right. This was okay to fit my things. I would have definitely had to make room in the bedroom for this awkward space. And then to the left was the washer and dryer, which was just another great place to store my things. All right, this led to the bedroom. The bedroom had a decent view. They're building something outside, or they're using it as a storage yard. I wasn't sure, but I couldn't hear any construction because there was nothing going on, but I'm just hoping that if I was there during the day, it wouldn't really bother me. So this went into the living room and back into the bathroom. The living room had the same view, y'all. The bathroom was simple and clean. If the shower was a stand-up one, it would really give off spa vibes. I like the all-in-one drawer. So as we get into the model unit in the next clip, I want to talk about some things that bothered me. First up, the shower tub combo. It was fine, but they should have been separate. I didn't like the old school mirror and the lighting fixtures in the bathroom. I was like, what is this? They had this weird brassy silver tone, and it was just a no. Okay. Also, they could have did pull down or drawstring blinds at that price point in all the units. She explained to me that it was only in some of them. I started noticing when we went to look at different apartments that some of them lacked things and it would be the same price range, so I started asking. Instead, this particular one had plantation style blinds, but the one next door had a drawstring. Another thing was the electric stove. The Hanovers only do electric, but a gas range would have put it up to par, only because most new luxury apartments are now doing gas because people want it. This place is only a year old. Also, some of these had balconies and others didn't. For the same price, the ones that did have a balcony were mainly the ones with a pool view and carpet in the bedroom. I believe it was every other floor. I personally don't like pool views. They always have bad lighting and people outside all night. And I want them to have their fun. At $2,700 market rate before specials for a one bedroom, there was no 24-hour concierge and no valet, and that just didn't make sense for that price. You can literally go across the street to their sister property, which has very similar prices, and get those things plus more. I also didn't like that they required you to sign a lease within 2 days of getting approved. Next up is the Oliver. This one is located in the Heights. Once again, y'all, this is another place that I had to visit twice because the first time they just didn't show everything. So at first I went with me and Phoebe. The second time I went with my apartment locator. So when I first walked in, I was a little disappointed. I don't know what I was expecting, but they just looked different than what I thought they would. I'll talk about all the good things first. They have beautiful light hardwood floors, gas range stove, the refrigerator has an ice and water maker. I had to blow bubbles for my baby to keep her entertained, y'all. Had a large kitchen island. Then on the left side when you first walk in, there's a half bathroom with a mudroom. On the right side is a small den that can be used as her little playroom. This is a 1 bedroom with 1.5 baths, so I didn't really have to worry about people using my main bathroom. The next apartment. So when we were walking, we walked past a unit. I caught a glimpse and I asked, "Oh, you guys have units that don't have carpet?" And she said, "Oh yeah, but this one has concrete floors." I told her I would like to see it, so she took me to see it. This one was a 2 bedroom, 2 bath that they were using as a storage place to keep their model furniture. I really liked the floors, and I was picturing where I would put like furniture and rugs, and the view was also peaceful, but that was about it. Also, this was facing a street that can get pretty busy. Unlike the last apartment at the Hanover, I like that they put the shower and the tub separate, and I also really like the recessed lighting in here. The second time I went was with my apartment locator. He had posted some units on Instagram and I was like, oh, I want to see these. Everything was conducive with the other units, just like last time. He showed me another 2 bedroom, 2 bath corner unit that was facing the pool. So, like I thought the first apartment, this was just a no for me. I'm only being a tough critic because of the prices that these apartments want to charge for what they're giving people. It's really frustrating for me as a renter. I didn't like the countertops. They were this weird faux gray granite. The apartment was very 80s with the tiles, but it was 80s in a bad way, y'all. There was carpet in all the bedrooms, all the closets, which is okay. I mean, I can easily clean that, but I didn't like the cheap carpet that they picked. At least the closets were spacious. They had room that you could stack things on and put things away and keep your apartment nice and clear. There were high ceilings and there was really great lighting. There was just something also cheap. I hate to keep saying that about the finishes. Like, they were trying to finish the apartments very quickly. I don't know. The doors were also slamming really hard because they were so light, and I can already tell I'll be hearing that through my neighbor's doors. So this unit was facing the pool. It was in that U shape, so you would be able to see your neighbors right across. So you wouldn't have much of a view, but this apartment still pulled in a lot of lights. So you're probably wondering why I picked this place. It was the location in the Heights. This is definitely nice for someone, especially with a roommate. The 2 bedrooms weren't that expensive. I think they were around $2,600 at the time, but it's probably cheaper with specials that they have going on. So you guys do the math. They also didn't have a high amenity fee. Now, if I were to live here, for me personally, I would have to do that Amazon trick with the countertops, and then I would also have to put a rug down because I just would not feel like dealing with the cleaning of the carpet. Also, the only amenities they had was a pool, a very small gym, and a recreational area outside for people. So the location was great. It was next to a large shopping center. So if all those things meet your criteria, definitely go and check them out. Apartment 4 is a 2 bedroom, 2 bath at the Rosslyn at Garden Oaks. So this next apartment caught my eye on Instagram, as usual. This one is more of an honorary mention just because I knew I wasn't going to move there for a couple reasons. Number one, the neighborhood. Just to clarify, I don't mind living in a neighborhood that's kind of in the middle of nowhere. But if I do, it has to be in an apartment that I just really love. And for me, this just wasn't it. But y'all, look at the windows in this unit. It made the apartment very bright. There's recessed lighting, gas range, washer and dryer, the usual. I wasn't crazy about the floors. The bathrooms were spacious. It kind of reminded me of these builder grade new homes that they're just putting out every week. Kind of like the last place we just looked at. So whenever you see doors like you see in this place, you have to do a slam test because they have different versions of this door that are heavier than others. Here, I can already tell it's going to be slamming. There's carpet in the closet as usual, which is not a big deal for me. There wasn't much going on in the neighborhood. It's definitely an up and coming place. It was kind of walkable, like they had sidewalks that they were making, but then they would just end abruptly. So that's just honestly Houston for you. Houston has a lot of weird sidewalks and a lot of dents and water damage, things like that. The girl who was showing me the apartment, she was so nice, and that's always great. I have to point that out. They had a nice gym and a nice lobby. This place doesn't have any concierge or anything like that, but the price reflects that because it wasn't expensive. So that's pretty much it for amenities besides a pool. They had 2 bedrooms at the time that were like under $2,200, so a lot of people were running and getting these 2 bedrooms. I'm pretty sure they're all gone. They also had a very large parking garage. I had a lot of space for parking. So that wraps it up for this apartment hunt. I'll see you guys in the next one. Which one did y'all like the best? What do you think?